right then, Dangerlings, how you doing? Yes, welcome back. It is Tuesday, and that means it's Danger Recall. It's Danger Recall. We got some people here with me. My name's Colin Hubbard. I'm going to be your host for the next 30 or so minutes. We might go shorter, we might go longer. We don't know. It's the old new show. Anything could happen. Anything could happen today on Danger Recall. Well, I mean, most of the time we'll just be talking, but anything within the realms of that. I've got some guests with me today. I've got James Lockhart. How you doing, James?
Boom, boom. I'm all right.
Yeah, mate. All right, nice one. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen in the next half hour.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Dan Thompson, how you doing, Dan?
How you doing? I'm doing good, Colin. Good to be here.
Yes, mate. Thank you. And we got Scott Wilson, Best Grove.
Yep. What's going on? What's cracking? What's pit popping? I tell you what, this is pit popping, dungeon crawling.
And we've got Ross Harmston.
Sibbity bop bop, kip clip clop. We're going down into the ossuary bop. We're gonna kill some people in that thing. Who knows if we're gonna die in the thing? There you go.
In the thing.
Yeah, nice.
Also, I'm liking the pip
more
pop.
of that.
Is that your new musical movement, Scott? The sort of the very middle class white sort of pip pop.
Did I say pit pop? I thought that was. I thought Ross said pit pop.
No, I think you said pip pop.
Did I?
Yeah,
I think so.
I just create musical genres by accident all the time,
I like
mate.
it, mate. I like it. It's
What's
good.
the latest one that you've done apart from pip pop?
Scratch Wagon.
Scratch Wagon, eh?
Yeah, it's taking the old 90s vinyl scratching. You do it on a wagon, and the innate bumping of the wheels gives rhythm to it. It depends, and obviously Scratch Wagon bands go down like cobbled streets, they go down like dirt roads and stuff like that to get different sounds. Recording is a nightmare.
God, it must be hard to find a wagon these days.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. I tell you
can
what,
find them in a lot of like people's gardens, can't you? You can go and sort of stay in people's gardens in a wagon, like a yurt, but they have old like horse wagons and things like that you can go and stay in. Gypsy caravans.
Gypsy caravans. And to be honest, I can clearly see that idea at genuinely festivals and around the world, like a Scratch Wagon. Like it'd be great to trundle around the festival. You'd have a big crowd of people following it. I think I'd go and do it.
I'd definitely follow that van around.
Yeah,
that wagon around. Yeah, that'd be the place to be. Bare feet.
I immediately kick Scott in the balls and tell him, nobody does scratch wagoning around my area.
I am the one who scratches.
Yeah.
And then immediately kills the idea and just it never gets happened.
Yeah. Oh my God. So listen, right. This is episode 37 we're talking about, the old news show. This was released on the 11th of the 2nd, 2019. It's the first episode that we talk about the Danger Entertainment Network. Now, we're not part of the Danger Entertainment Network anymore, Dangerlings, but at this stage, we were. Dan, why didn't you tell us about the Danger Entertainment Network?
Yeah, the Danger Entertainment Network was a collection of podcasts set up by a few people. I think they had a comic book, and they just got mates of theirs who were making podcasts, and they started doing a sort of a group thing, basically, where they would. The idea was everyone played a bumper at the start, and they played an advert at the end for other people's shows on the network, and it was just sort of cross promotion, basically. And I think. I think we got in touch. Scott, you made contact with them. Did we get in touch with them, or did they contact us?
I found out there'd been a bit of soft touching from them, and then I went in and then just sort of spoke to them because I was like, lol, same name. And they were like, yeah, let's get involved. That sounds like a great idea. But yeah, people will probably be familiar. Like those of you listening who've got your own podcasts, this idea is not unique by any stretch of the imagination. There's loads of these things around. And they're very useful for podcasts getting off their feet, expanding viewership, listenership in different countries and stuff like that. It's a useful little tool for a while.
Big up.
It was great,
Steph,
wasn't it? Big up Steph
from one of the other shows.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, it was really nice to be part of that little network. Sorry, go on, Ross.
No, I was just going to say their bumper was so hard to say on our show, wasn't it? Because I was like, DangerEntertainment.net, Danger Entertainment Network podcast, Danger Entertainment Net, and then we'd ruin one word and we'd have to go, for God's sake, do it again, record it again.
DangerEntertainment.net, Danger Entertainment
Network
podcasts.
Yeah.
I think after
it took us ages in the studio.
After a while, we just started saying Danger Entertainment Podcast. We were really specific on making, because they originally were like, you have to use our bumpers, and then we were like, can we just record them ourselves? And we started doing our own ones. but we were really strict on like sticking exactly to their script. And I think we listened to a bunch of the other shows, and most of the other shows on the network weren't even using it. So we were just like, oh, okay, we'll just say Danger Entertainment.
Yeah. It was cool though. It was nice. Big up Danger Entertainment.
They were a good bunch of people. Really nice. But I say were as if they don't exist anymore. Those people collectively do exist, but the network itself doesn't. That wrapped up a year or so ago.
Yeah, nice one. So this is episode 37, New Girl. And it's pretty special, this one. We've got music from Kev, Sword Coast, Chan Walrus, White Sand, and Bludgeon again. Ross Bludgeon, yes. It's great. And we have a guest in this episode, don't we?
Very exciting stuff. Very, very sort of like, this is like, wow, this is genuine new territory. This is a whole new world.
A whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes. Yeah, absolutely. It was a whole new world for us. We'd never had another person come and sit down with a microphone, and it was exciting. We had a really good day, and Rachael is a really good friend of ours. I'll tell you what, before we do anything else, Dan, have you got a summary?
I have got a summary, yes. So in this episode, the Danger Club finally pick a door, go through the door, and find it's a dead end. They spend a while trying to work out how to open. They find a rune that they maybe need. They spend a while trying to mess with that. M rages, runs around the room. Fulton cuts his hand open, wipes blood all over the room. Eventually, they give up on the room and they go the other way. And in the other way, they find a wooden door behind which is Zola Dubois, a rogue played by Rachael Henley, who has been trapped down here for some time after being chased off by a horrible creature. They find the remains of her guide, and then the new group with Zola in tow set off into the darkness.
Yes, the Danger Club podcast, a new member to the show, someone who's got the t-shirt, basically. They can come back pretty much whenever they want, if they wanted to. So Rachael, if you ever want to come back, you can come back whenever you want. Just dip in. Dan will write you in. It's all right. It's fine. It's easy, that, isn't it?
I'm happy making that promise because I know she's not a Patreon subscriber, so she won't hear this.
Yeah, so make that. That's great. I just wanted to throw it out there. What do you think? Can you remember any memories of this day, team?
This episode in the intro and the preamble. It sort of sounds like we all get quite bashful for a moment, and we all get a little bit like a dweeby and a little bit awkward because there is a lady playing with us for the first time. It's funny listening back to it. It's almost cute and adorable.
Yeah, it's quite sweet, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a lot. There hasn't been a lady playing with us for a long while, really, has there? I think the last person was April in our social games, but we've never had. Before that, we haven't had a lady come and play.
I think kind of irrespective of gender, it's just like we say, having someone else sitting at the table. Suddenly, you're like, you've got to include them, and you've got to be nice to the character, but you've also got to be role playing and sort of being in character, and welcoming, and yet also yourself. There's a lot of stuff to think about with a guest suddenly being there.
My Starfinder campaign is predominantly female, but like, don't you have a girl playing in your Carbon campaign, Ross?
Yeah, no, I mean, as in before this point, before this point now, as in back in when we recorded it, like that episode. I mean,
when we recorded the Rachael one, I guess I can't remember how long ago it was that we played games with Rachael, but with April, rather.
We didn't have one previously in the home Pathfinder campaign that we had. April did cameo in the superheroes game that I ran for you, but we did, and Ross, you won't remember this because it was the genesis of the Danger Club as a very playing group. We started off play back in the day from our old tourist attraction with a lady in the group. That's how the campaign started. Yeah. But it is like, I think what you guys are talking about, it is just good to have someone who isn't your gender, at least someone who isn't your gender at your table, because it introduces different life experiences and a slightly different way of role playing. It's really wonderful. I got a load of my D&D groups are pretty balanced and mixed now. I play in one. I don't run one, but I play in one where I'm like the only straight white guy in it, which is nice. You get entirely different experiences.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah.
It is.
It's good to throw that out
It's
there.
worth pointing out as well. It wasn't through choice. It's just that.
No, it was through all of the women we know being phenomenally more successful career-wise than we were, so they kept leaving our campaigns to go do big West End jobs.
Yeah, they just kept getting work, didn't they? And we were like, "Oh, right, okay."
Can you come on Monday? Oh, you're in the West End. Okay.
You
sure you don't want to? No. Okay.
Right, listen. Rachel couldn't be here today, so we wanted her on Danger Recall. All right, and she might be on a later Danger Recall because she's got 3 more episodes after this, 4 more episodes, I think. So we're going to invite her along. But for now, she has sent us a voice note.
Yay.
Whoa! Yeah, now I have actually listened to this, but I know that the rest of the club haven't. And team at home, here we go. This is Rachael Henley dialing in just to say hi.
Hello, Colin and the Danger Club. This is my attempt at a voice note. Talking about the lovely day we had recording, which was so long ago now. It was 2.5 years ago. It was January 2019, which is mad when I think about it. Good old Sola, she remains very dear in my little heart, the little rapscallion. It was such a nice day. And weirdly, because of this, because of life and work, I feel like it's the last time I saw some of you, which is dastardly. But we had such a nice day. I remember there being a lot of tea, which is generally, for me, helpful when, getting me to do anything. I remember having not played anything like Pathfinder before. What a dice they are! All these different shaped dice, I thought to myself. And you were all clearly such masters at the whole thing, such absolute pro dogs. So felt rather intimidated, but what a joyful time it was. And I felt like by the end of the day, I was getting into the swing a little bit. So maybe my Pathfinder days are not behind me. Maybe it's something I will revisit. Now, I'm keeping this short and sweet. You probably want to cut this because of my general ramblings, but I am sending you all lots and lots and lots of love. Keep safe, keep smiling, keep shining, and keep exploring them wonderful worlds that you're creating. All right, Chuck. Why don't you do something nice today? Go hug a tree. Eat some cake. Bye. Love from Zola.
Oh, amazing.
Bless her.
What a nice message, eh?
What a lovely message.
Nice.
She is treated
Did you-
dastardly.
did you-
What a great word.
Did you
Yeah,
go and
very
hug a
well.
tree, Colin?
Well, no, because I was going to record this and then I'm going to go and hug a tree.
Okay.
He is doing something nice. He's taking care of himself by doing this. This is what we're doing. This is his cake. He's having his cake and eating it. So who's up for just changing several things of the podcast so we can promo ourselves as #ProDogs? That was referred to us by
yeah.
Rachel. ProDogs. I quite like that.
Yeah, we are pro dogs now. That's it.
I've always been
pro
pro-dog.
Yeah.
I thought it was just assumed that we were pro dogs. I think you have to specify your anti-dogs, really. I think that's...
Yeah, I think you do, don't you? Yeah, it was great. It was a really nice message. I love that message at the end as well. Do something nice for yourself. It's a good thing to do, like once a day. I mean, I'm not saying have a burger, have a piece of cake every day, but you do something nice. And it was a bit of advice that I've heard recently, and I was giving to someone who's very dear to me, who's having a hard time, and they're only quite young. But I was like, try and talk to yourself the way you would talk to your best friend. And I think Rachael is really good at that, talking to herself. She's very positive, isn't she? And brought a really sort of positive element to, not that we're negative or anything, but brought a really positive element when she came along and recorded with us. So do something nice for yourself. Listen to Zola
Yeah.
and do that, Dangerlings.
Definitely.
It's really
she
good.
was just a brilliant. She was like top of our list for ages, wasn't that? Was like as soon as we started the show, we were like, right, we're getting April on and we're getting Rachael on, in whatever order we can get them booked. But we've got to get them on the show as soon as we've got through the first story arc, and it was just great because she'd never played anything like this before. She was like you, Cole. She'd been saying for ages, I want to come along to a game, but had never quite made it along. And so on this one, we managed to get her locked in for it. And we because I always meet guests if I can. I always meet them beforehand, and we do like a briefing session, like have a little mini session 0 basically to get them into the show. And we come up with a character for them, especially if they're people who haven't played the game. We come up with. I just want to be like, well, tell me what the character is like. Tell me what you want to do. Tell me some things about it, and then I'll make a character for you with some simple abilities that will fit that. And so we just went for dinner and like planned a Zola, and I was just like, do you want to be stabby or do you want to be magic-y? Or just went through that whole list and just made this whole thing and set it all up, and then had her in the room ready to go. Nice.
Yeah, good way to do it, man. So getting into the episode, right? We have a little bit of chat. We talk about In the Summertime by Mungo Jerry. We're not going to get into that. We talk about Sound of the Police by KRS-One. Both amazing songs. We're not going to get into them and deep dive in them because we ain't got time. We talk about Shake a Tail Feather by Ray Charles, which is also on the Blues Brothers film soundtrack. Karaoke favorite a lot. Shake a Tail Feather, go and sing it. It's amazing. Then we talk about Niche or Niche. Or niche, how do you pronounce it? Nobody knows. There's a niche in the wall, or is this a niche thing? I'm not sure. Scott, what do you think, man?
Niche.
It's niche, isn't
it?
Yeah.
Niche.
Yeah. We've all kind of discovered that now. But yeah. Ross?
Nicht.
I love throwing things out to Ross because I know he's just going to come out with something. It's great. Cool. And then we find this little feather token, which is really important because that comes up later. Feather token, really good. You can send a message to anyone. Which is really nice. Obviously, you've mentioned M raging, Dan. That was 6 seconds of just dribbling everywhere. And then we find Henna's. We find her in a cupboard somewhere, really, don't we? With half a tengu.
Yeah, it's in the what's it called? It's like the room of greed or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. It's got all the gold and the jewels on the walls, and Velda wants to take it all, doesn't he?
I think you kind of you have a look at it, don't you? You have you give it an appraise, and you find out it's not really worth anything.
If you spent hours like shaving off the gold of the walls and digging out all the jewels and stuff, you'd probably go away with like 300 gold pieces. It wasn't worth it for the amount of time it would take, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's called the House of Greed. Weirdly, those Tengu who are dead, Izek, there was another one. They are the monsters in the module version. They're the monsters in that room. They are. Because we should tell you the way Zola has gotten in here. I'm not sure you ever quite find it, but basically she's climbed down the side of the cliff and has crawled in. So her Tengu guides, first appearance of Tengu, I think, on the show. Yeah. Her Tengu guides have showed her a way into the ossuary that isn't sealed. So they've found like a way in through a crack in the cliffside that she's climbed in through with her guides, and then they've both been killed. In the original module version of it, there are a couple of treasure hunters who've gone in and have then been chased into this room, and then they're surprised and they fight you. So they were they still end up in the story, but I think as a more interesting way of getting her in. So that was also a way out if you use up all the chimes on the thing and can't open the door again. That would have been a way out of the ossuary.
I love this bit. Just from me, I have to give myself props one more time because I dropped the son of Bemsy in this episode.
Yes!
And I'd been holding on to that for I don't know how long. Like, I thought to myself, after the carnival, really, I guess, I was thinking, I'm going to drop that in. We're going to meet someone and I'm going to drop this little nugget of information in. And it's like 37. And it was just funny seeing everyone else going, what? We don't know that about you. Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. Son of Bemsy. Yeah. And obviously Zola's looking for her brother's body. What were you going to say, Scott? You had something on your...
Just before we did all that, along with the rage searching, Fulton tries to solve the problem by running into a wall.
Oh, yeah.
And we make a joke about Hogwarts. By the way, just going to put it out here, if Fulton was going to Hogwarts, he'd be a Hufflepuff. Discuss.
Why did you say Hufflepuff?
Because he's more friendly than he is anything else. I think out of all the other houses, right, he's more friendly and more food-oriented than a lot of us. And Caragor's pretty food-oriented, but Ross has the thing with it and sort of goes for more friendship and loyalty, that kind of thing, over anything else. Those are the qualities that Fulton seems to go. And family ties with Fulton. So True. Those things would lean towards War Hufflepuff than Gryffindor, and he's definitely not a Ravenclaw, and he's definitely not a Slytherin.
He's not. He's definitely not a Gryffindor. He does murder like a Slytherin. I mean, just saying.
Does murder, but there's plenty of Gryffindor. I got a little bit of Harry Potter knowledge, but not a lot. There's plenty of Gryffindors and other people who've done like murder in their time. Again, justifiable homicide to them. But if I was going to go around the rest of the entire party, Velda Ravenclaw, MZ Gryffindor. I don't know about Caragor and Shania. I'm probably going to say Slytherin with Shania. Yeah. She's more family orientated, but she's much more willing to kill in order to get to solve that problem, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's just, it's more shrewd.
I can see her putting on the selecting hat and being like, Slytherin. She'd be like, fuck you, hat, you fucking piece of shit, and like throwing it across the thing, and like, being like, yep, Slytherin, yeah.
There's a strong case, I'm pretty sure some Potter-oriented Dangerlings might make it. There's a strong case for Shania being a Hufflepuff. I'm willing to hear it based on that. No. It's a family tie thing. You'd be surprised. I'm willing to hear it.
You would.
I would lean Slytherin over anything else.
Slytherin.
Yeah, you would. And it's the sorting hat, not the selecting hat. I heard Potter is out there just going, oh my God, James, what the fuck?
Sorry, I have now read book 1.
Good on you. Yeah, nice.
Good. It's good.
Good that you didn't remember that it was
they get a lot better.
No.
They get a lot better. No disrespect to the first book, but they...
Dangerlings, have a discussion and see what Caragor would be on our Discord. Tell us what you think he would be.
Let us know.
I have a theory. Yeah, I have a theory, but I don't know how to prove it.
I think he'd be Slytherin.
But he's got an element of Slytherin.
It crosses my mind. It crossed my mind, but the thing is, I'm a Slytherin. I don't know if that's just character bleeds. That's why I can't. That's why I'm too close to it.
You need to differentiate. Yeah. Fair enough.
I'd still...
Anyway, we find Zola. We have this lovely little meeting and things, and it's really funny, actually. Really fun. I love all the descriptions from all the characters. It's really nice going back over those, and I loved hers. She's basically just Kate Bush, but petite, like really small, and that's such a good look. I wonder how many people sort of choose someone like that, and they sort of go, okay, that I'm going to be that person. That's who I want to be in this game. DMs out there, because I've never DM'd or anything. Do you get that quite a lot?
Oh yeah.
Do you get people saying, I want to do
your character? Cast your character. I did it a bit. Well, we did it once with Idris Elba, the guard, where we were like, I was like, cast all of the NPCs so we can visualize them a bit better. And then I was like, that's actually quite a lot of work and not really helpful and disrupts people's imagination, and we can't use pictures of them for anything because that's copyright imagery, so that's a terrible idea. But yeah, I think it's a standard thing you do as a player a lot of the time. If you're trying to think of what your character looks like, I will always think who is playing my character when I want to describe a character. It's usually John Cena.
I think I get that a lot from players who go like who like to splice. They go this celebrity plus X, Y, and Z, and I think that's a great way to do it because it doesn't disrupt your imagination. You're not tied to one thing, because the players will then have, like, I got a player who's like, this character's a little bit like John Constantine, but blah 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 blah, and you go, okay, I've got a rough idea of this spindly, smoking, jacketed person, but it also has your own flavour on it, because ultimately that is the player's own creation. Each character the player makes is their own unique creation. Doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yeah. And what about you, Ross? Have you ever found that?
Yeah. Like I tend to, when you're a player, you tend to mold you visually, and as a DM, I like to tell people this is kind of like the person, and I like to also revitalize 80s TV personalities in my games. Bobby Davro.
I think that came from me, mate, because I also like really, because it's a big part of the thing.
Well, this is it as well. Like, especially if you do a voice as an NPC that you didn't originally, and then it turns into people go, "Is that blah blah blah?" And you're like, "Yeah, fuck it, why not? It's basically him."
We did. Ross's stable of talent stretches to Jim Bowen. For those new Bullseye,
Bruce Forsyth,
Bobby Davro, all the major hits, all the greats. Love it.
There's a reason as well. Caragor is saying something about the birds person because. Do you remember this, Caragor?
Is it about the skeletons? No,
it's about the Tengu, the half Tengu, and you say something to Zola. You're like, oh yeah, look, what's that? Who is this person? What are they? And she says, oh, they're bird people, they're crow people, right? And you turn to me in game, and you say, oh, so they're like a bird, are they? Hey, and I go, yeah. Because the thing is at this point in time, Bubba isn't in the show, but I'm playing a version of Bubba in our home game, in our D&D campaign.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember this? He's different. He's not a bard. I think he was. I can't remember exactly what we had him down as. Some of the personality was similar and very the same, and some of it was completely different. But yeah, and I think that was you going, hey. Because he still didn't like being called a bird in his inception in D&D. And you were kind of like, hey, bird person, And obviously we couldn't get into it in game, so I just said, yeah.
And there you go.
But anyway, a little bit of trivia for you there. Yeah. Cool. Excellent. I thought people would remember that, but they didn't.
I'd totally forgotten that he'd come from that we'd played him in a home game before he came to the show. He's just he just feels so synonymous with the show now, and just like forget that he was ever, anything else.
It's weird because I didn't play him for long, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, sorry, Dan. What were you saying?
I think it was just because now you said it. Yeah, I remember, and it was the voice and everything like that. And it was when we were. I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but it was when we were looking for a new character for you.
Yeah. Spoilers.
And it was, and I think, and we were sort of throwing ideas. I was like, if you're thinking about doing Bubba, please, because that voice is just, it's perfect, and it's so you and so relaxed and so kind of you have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there was a kind of general consensus that would be a good thing. You can either come up with a new character or just do this one. Or just do this one. Come in with Bubba, yeah.
It was hard because you were already smashing it with Ed at that point. And everyone loves Ed.
Yeah. Yeah, I was toying between both of them at the time. I didn't really know what to do. And also, until... we'll talk about that in another episode, because there was a whole thing. We'll get to that. We'll get to it. But yeah, that's pretty much the end. We get out of the room, we walk down the corridor, and then we see a woman walking towards us, and she's chewing on a Tengu on a Tengu foot, and all of a sudden her mouth opens up like the Predator, and here we are, faced with our second encounter in the ossuary, but first encounter with Zola Dubois in tow. Yeah.
Exciting times.
Episode 37.
Boom.
Love it.
I was expecting someone else to say something.
That's
but
right.
Yeah,
I think we're all
like
school children have been chastised because we're like, oh, I've got to keep to time, and we're waiting for Colin to be like, okay, we're going to wrap out now, because we're like.
Because we're frantically wrapping everyone up last week. Yeah, it's all right. We've actually got a couple of minutes, to be honest.
What should we talk about?
Yeah, let's go off on one.
Done anything good this week?
I think it was just on a last note. Just from me personally, I think it was great to have Rachael on board. I know we've said it a million times, but I think it was quite. I think you're right, Scott. What you were saying at the beginning, it was quite refreshing. Something different came into the room.
Yeah,
it is. And also just a point I want to make, that sometimes we've been a little bit down on sort of classic dungeon crawlers, or it might have come across that way. But I actually really enjoy a good old dungeon crawl every now and then. It gives the party a lot of focus. And whilst shopping and open world and sandbox is all great, it's actually sometimes nice to be like, no, you've got 3 paths or 2 paths, or there we go. Like, just play this thing and it's all been designed together. I really enjoy a dungeon. I kind of make me all nostalgic hearing about it.
I love them to play and to GM. I just, I think we were like, we'll do one for the podcast. for now, because they're not, they're hard work to do for audio, because there's not as many crazy characters showing up all the time.
Right.
That's why having Rachel help. But yeah, to play one, I bloody love a dungeon crawl. Great fun.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a good dungeon crawl. But yeah, it was good. It was good having Rachel on. I think it's a necessary thing to change up and vary up your play group and diversify it and get other voices in and get other minds in, get other eyes to it. It's great. You don't realize how much dynamic and social dynamic and play dynamic that changes. You'll just sort of feel the subtle knock-ons of it afterwards. And I think old play groups are enriched by that kind of stuff. I think it's quite great.
Well, I think it's something we're very aware of, and we have been very aware of from the start, that we are 6 white cisgender straight men, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's good to, as you say, diversify. Ross, any last thoughts?
Yeah, dungeon crawlers are good because it alleviates the character shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the character shit.
I would encourage anyone. Amazing. I would encourage anyone, because I know a few people skipped them to get onto the main show. If you enjoy this, if the flavour of having guests on is good, go back to some of the Lockdown Legends episodes that we did, because there are some there with Naomi from Power Word Roll on, and there are a couple with Jess Foster Q, comedian extraordinaire, on, and they're brilliant, and they're really worth listening to if you've not caught them.
Yeah, some really good stuff there. Really good stuff. All right, team. Let's end it. Let's call it. Nice one. We love you, Rachael Henley. Hopefully we'll see you in the future, and hopefully we'll get you on one of these as well. If you're listening, you're not, because you're not subscribing to the Patreon, but hey, it doesn't matter. We're going to say it anyway. Thank you to my guest, Dan Thompson.
Cheers, everyone.
Thanks, James Lockhart.
Everybody.
Thanks, Scott Wilson Bestgrove.
A banquet of clouds blocks my ascension into the lunar cycle once more.
And thank you, Ross Armston.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Dangerlings. Bye.
Gotta get back in.